It's All Eternal on Twitter says, what limitations do you guys see with social media in the music industry? What limitations are there?
I was going to say, I mean, and I think it's great, but I was going to say, you were talking about how people hold up their phones. Everybody's always taking video of everything. It's great. It's a great way to capture memories. But my one concern is a slightly more spiritual, abstract kind of approach in that you are kind of cheating yourself from the actual experience of just listening. Yeah. And there's a little something to be said about that. I mean, it's a balance thing. I think it's great that we have all these recording devices and we can broadcast, but there's something to be said for putting your phone in your pocket and just enjoying a song.
For sure.
Well, I mean, have you thought about just broadcasting your shows? Just put them on the internet and letting people watch them?
They practically are, yeah. They really are, yeah. I mean, at YouTube, you know, I think every one of my shows that I did this last year, 120 of them are on YouTube.
Are you not obsessed with quality control and I mean,
nothing you can do about it. I think it puts an added pressure on the performer because you know that usually a live show is contained within the night that it happens, but now it's recorded forever. So it's a little high pressure. If you have that one night that you can't hit the note, you're screwed.
Hey, John,
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
if people want to line up from the audience to ask questions, they can come over here to the mic.
yeah,
and line
sure.
them up.
Anyone's got questions,
Come on
head
around.
over there. I've got a couple more from the cards, and then we'll be set to go right into that.
Hey, John, you know, I think another limitation is that
Okay, go ahead.
I think another limitation is that how artists get paid.
Uh-huh.
I think that there's a lot of consumption that happens gratis because it's shared and it's a wonderful fuel for networks and for friends, but the artist isn't getting compensated for it.
Right.
I think somehow, I really think that audiences are going to have to recognize they are patrons. They're not just passive people receiving music and giving it to each other. They are actually the folks who are going to support the artist and allow them to keep doing it. I mean, these two have broken through dramatically, you know, so they have enormous audiences, but I think audiences are going to have to begin to say, okay, I'm enjoying a lot of this. It's part of my social fabric. How can I, you know, put $1 in the kitty
For sure.
for this artist somehow?
I mean, I deal with bands all the time that are loading their gear in and out of vans and spending 10 months out of the year on the road because that's the name of the game for them. And I mean, I don't know if Tim, I mean, I've been around long enough that I remember when licensing your music was not something you just did without a thought. You know, it was, there was that stigma unless you were doing it for a candy bar in Japan or something, you know, when no one would see it here. But now it's like, I talk to so many indie bands who are like, how can I get my music in Gossip Girl? How can I get my music in whatever, you know? And
Well, one, I think the single biggest economic shift in the whole entire music industry is the fact that when artists get played on internet radio, performers get paid. When they get paid on broadcast radio, they don't. And so the shift of listening hours from broadcast to web, and radio has historically been the largest part of the music industry in terms of hours spent and financially. Artists are going to start participating in that, and you know, it's obviously self-serving, but I think internet radio is going to start taking a bigger and bigger share of that. That's great news for musicians.